Hi soulmates, you're welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Tekla, and today we'll be learning how to make this extremely standing structured sleeve. You can see how fine this sleeve is. It's so beautiful, and I just had to make a tutorial on it. So we'll be learning how to make this sleeve and different ways you can use it to create a design on your dress. You can see how effective it is, how wonderful and how beautiful it is. So for this tutorial, I'll be needing my Ankara fabric, which I will also be using as the lining. You can use another material for the lining if that is what you want. And then I have my thick paper gum. This is like the thickest paper gum. You can see how thick it is. So I will also be using that. Then I will also be using my sewable bone. You can see the width of this bone and you can see how it is. I will be using it to sew this structure sleeve because it will help to give it that structure sleeve as well. So guys, without wasting much time, let's dive into the video. So this is my pattern paper that we are going to be using to draft the sleeve. We'll use this to draft the sleeve first before cutting on the fabric. So I went ahead to fold my pattern paper into two, as you can see. You can see the way I folded it. Then I'm going to determine the width of my sleeve. The width that I'll be using is about 6 inches. You can use 7, 8, 5, 4, depending on how big you want your sleeve to be. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I am going to be using 6 inches and the length I am going to be using is 16. I think I wanted to use 14. I was like, no, 14 was too small. So for this sleeve, for this starting, I used 16 inches, even though I later added about 1 inch extra. So I divided that 16 inches by 2, which is 8, and I added about half an inch sewing allowance. Then I just went ahead to mark it on my pattern paper, and then I am going to go ahead and use my ruler to rule it. So guys, pay attention so you don't miss anything. So I've ruled that. Then I will go ahead and measure the width of my sleeve. So what I just measured now is the length, which we use 16 inches. So for the width, I'll be using about 6 inches for now. Just feel free to do this on the pattern paper so that you can alter it anyhow you want. So I just went ahead to mark that 6 inches, and then I'm going to connect my dots with my ruler so that we can be able to curve the sleeve from here. So guys, are you enjoying this tutorial? My name is Tekla, and if you're enjoying this tutorial, kindly go ahead now and hit the like button so that YouTube can be able to show this video to more people, that it will change maybe it can help them in one way or the other. So I went ahead to take 1.5 inch on both sides of that line that I've marked. You can see the way I marked it. So I'm going to use my curved ruler to curve from that 1.5 inch to the end of my pattern paper. Please use your curved ruler if you're not so good with freehand. For me, I like using curved ruler. It just makes things easy for me. So you can see the way I curved it to the end. I'm also going to go ahead and curve to the other side. And you can see that our sleeve is already taking that shape. Did you notice that? So, but then I think I felt like this sleeve is a little bit short, so I just went ahead to add extra 1 inch, which is to say that what I used in total was about 18.5 inches. It depends on how long you want it to be. What I used for the purpose of this tutorial is 18.5 inches to draft my pattern paper. You can use 20, you can use less. It depends on where you want to attach it. You can even use 30 if you want it to be like a very, very, very big exaggerated sleeve. So let's continue. So I just went ahead to cut that out. So guys, our online classes is still ongoing. If you want to learn how to make illusion corsets, cupped corsets, and hip padding, and so many things, if you're interested in our online class, all you need to do is just follow the WhatsApp link in our bio on this YouTube tutorial, or I'll add it to the description of this video so that you will just get to us directly, and then we'll forward the flyer to you. And guess what? The class is very, very affordable. You won't even believe it, but it's very affordable and very impactful. So at this point, I felt like maybe the width of my sleeve was too wide for what I wanted to use it for. So I just went ahead to like trim off about 1/4 of an inch or maybe half an inch on both sides. And guys, you can see what we have. You can see that we already have like the shape of that sleeve. Did you see? So at this point, I am going to go ahead and cut it on my fabric. And remember that if you don't want to use this fabric to line it, maybe you want to use a plain material, you can as well do that. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I want the main fabric and the lining to be the same thing. So I'll be using this Ishago Ankara to make both the lining and the fabric of the dress. So this is just me placing the pattern paper on it and then trying to make sure it aligns. Please pay attention so you see exactly how I am doing it. And then I also went ahead to add like half an inch extra, which is going to be my sewing allowance for this video, on my fabric. So just pay attention and you will see everything I did, because that half an inch is what I'm going to use to turn it, because we are still going to turn it before joining it to our dress. So just pay attention and you see everything you have. So guys, are you enjoying this video? Do you want more tutorials like this? I have so many tutorials on advanced courses and even beginner friendly courses that you can check out in the channel. How to make your hip pads, sew it and join it to your dress, bustiers and corsets and all of that. So you can just check it out. Or if you want more advanced courses or personal training, just follow the WhatsApp link in the description box or on our bio to get to my WhatsApp, and that's all. And then we also have Telegram classes where we teach. I even have a coaching class, how to boost your clients and then get more high paying clients this Ember month. You can just message us on WhatsApp and check that out. We also have a community of tailors where we share things that we don't know and all of that. And you ask questions and you get answers from people that know the answers from what you're asking. You can even ask me directly in my DM and I will definitely answer you. So guys, let's continue. You can see that I went ahead to cut this. You can see that I have about 2 pieces. So this 2 pieces is like my main fabric and my lining. Do you understand? Like this is for one hand only, my main fabric and my lining. And then I am going to go ahead and cut out the other side of the cup. So at this point, I was just trying to place my fabric in a way that it to be able to achieve that same shape. So at this point, I was already cutting it, and then I'm trying to, this thing is going to be 4 pieces in total. So assuming you are using a different thing for the lining, then you know that the Ankara is going to be 2 and then the lining is going to be 2 as well. But for me, my fabric is the same thing as the lining. So I'm going to have 4 pieces in total. And you will just see that in a jiffy. So guys, you can see that this thing, I've already cut it out and it's about 4 pieces. And it is the same shape. There's no difference between any of them. It's the same thing. So just try to curve. When you are curving, curve exactly the same thing so that you have the same thing when you are done. So I will just sew one and use one to turn it, and I'll have one side of my sleeve. Then I'll then sew the other side and then use one side to turn it, and I'll have the other side of it. So you can see that the shape of our sleeve is already coming out. So at this point, I am going to use this pattern paper. Please don't throw your pattern away. I'm going to use it to as well cut on my gum. I am going to cut out gum that I'm going to be using for this. Just like I said, I am using the thickest gum stay, the thickest one, not the thick one. You know they have paper gum, but then they have the thickest paper gum. That's what I'm using. Don't mind the fact that it is rumpled. Then while cutting on my gum, I am cutting exactly the same thing that I have on my pattern paper. I am not adding any allowance on it. You can see I'm cutting directly. Sorry guys if my voice is down. I've been doing a whole lot of class coaching things since morning, so I think it has impact on my voice, and then the fact that I am very exhausted as well. But I just had to post this video this night. So I am going to cut this gum two. I'm going to cut two pieces of this gum, and I've already cut the first one, so I'll just cut the second one at this point. So just pay attention. I had to make this video detailed because there's no need to rush. Learn this, you learn it once and for all, and then you master it. Sometimes I tell people that when you're watching YouTube videos, don't watch it to come back and watch it again when you want to make something like that. Watch it and master it. If you're cutting it on your fabric, don't look at the video and then come back to cut on your fabric. Make sure that you have watched it. If you need to rewatch the video as many as possible, make sure that it masters you, because we are not watching to learn, we are watching to master the skill. And if you keep watching to learn it, you forget it and then you come back again. So watch YouTube videos to master it, so that not anytime you want to cut something like this, start searching on YouTube how to make a structured standing sleeve. I don't know, but for me it doesn't make sense. So pay attention and then watch to master what we are doing. So this is just me cutting the second paper gum. You can see how I'm taking my time and making sure that everything is exactly the same thing. So you can see I'll drop that pattern paper aside, and then I have two gums, and I am going to go ahead and iron it to two of that sleeve that I cut. Remember that the sleeve is 4, so I'm going to bring 2 and I'm going to go ahead and iron these paper gums to it, and I will iron it in a way that those 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 inch that I left when I was cutting it will still be there. You can see that my gum did not extend to it. You can see that 1/2 inch that is round it, or 1/4 of an inch, that I'm going to use to join it. You can see how it is showing there. So I'm going to put the gum like so, and then I'll now press with iron, and I'm going to do it on 2 pieces, not 1. I'm going to do it on 2. Then also another thing is, if you have tissue gum or a stay, please go ahead and add it to the other part that we are not adding paper gum, the same way we are adding this paper gum. I didn't have a stay or tissue gum with me, so I just had to sew it like that. But please, if you are making use of this, use a stay or tissue gum to make it. But for me, I just use the material like that, but that is not the most right thing to do. So please get your stay or your tissue gum. So guys, are you enjoying this video so far? Hit the like button, and if you have a question, just tell us in the comments and I will definitely attend to it. And welcome, if you are my returning subscriber, welcome. You know this is the right place to be. And if this is your first time on my channel, my name is Tekla and you are welcome. And go ahead now to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any video, because this channel is a detailed channel where we share sewing tips, tutorials, and pattern drafting and all of that. So I'm going to sew my boning on the edge of the, you can see the way I've ironed this thing flat, leaving those things. I'm going to sew it on both edges, and at this point I thought I was going to sew 3, which is 1 on both edges and 1 at the middle. But after making it on both edges, I realized that it was enough to make the sleeve to stand. You can go ahead and add the middle one, but for me, I skipped it for the purpose of this tutorial. So this 2 was already enough to give me the standing effect. You can see that the sleeve is already taking shape. Nothing can make this sleeve to fall. Not even if you put it inside hot water, it will still come out and stand like this. It's not the one that you finish making for your client and then they wash it and the sleeve will now fall. Like, what type of thing is that? So I'm just going to go ahead and then use my lining to turn. I'm going to place my lining right side facing right side, and then I'm going to sew very close to that bone. You remember that 1/2 inch allowance that I left? I'm going to run a thread through it to the end, and then I'll do that on my sewing machine and I'll come back to show you. So you can see what I have. I've already done that. At this point, I thought I was going to be I will sew the other side and then turn it. And guess what, guys? I finished making it. Like, I finished sewing that side and I realized I am not going to be able to turn it. Like, the thing was so strong that I just had to lose it. So, guys, what I did is that I loosed it and then I folded it and then I top stitched. Like, I had to top stitch. So I'm just going to show you how to do the top stitching. So you just fold in the one on the bone. You can see the way I folded it in. Then you also fold the lining, place it on top, and then sew very close to the tip. That is what I mean by top stitching. I wanted to turn it though, but it was just not possible. So by that way, you just do that to the end. Another way is you can also use hemming gum to hem that down and then just fold the top on top of it. So guys, hello, you can see what we have. You can see how structured this sleeve is. Remember that you can still add your boning at the middle if you want. You can see what I have here. This thing now, you can use it to design anything that you want. You can see how it's standing. Nothing can make this bone to fall. This structure sleeve to fall. Now you can see how perfect it is. So if you don't want that puffiness that is coming at the center, please add a bone at the center. So you can see how the two of them is so beautiful and so poised, so demure. But then that is by the way. So I'm going to bring the dress that I'll be attaching this to. I was already done making the dress at this point. So I just felt like I needed an extra something for the dress, for my client's dress. So I am going to go ahead now and try possible ways that you can put this structure sleeve on your clothes. There's no way that you cannot keep this sleeve. You can use it to achieve anything that you want. So I'm just going to raise the camera a little bit so that you can be able to see what we are doing. So I'll go ahead and try different ways that you can attach this sleeve to your clothes. The thing is, it doesn't have a particular way to do this. You can even decide to fold that tip before attaching it. You can decide to attach it in a way that the person can put their hand inside. You can decide to attach it in a way that it will just be at the front, but their hand does not go inside it. So you can see what we have. You can see the way it's already looking nice. I'm just trying out different things and how you can join it. So you can do basically anything you want with the sleeve. Feel free to design and create. You are a fashion designer. So you can see what we have. And I also have the second one. So I think finally I decided to join it together and then just sew it on top of the sleeve in such a way that my client's hand does not even enter inside the sleeve. And then I went ahead to put it on both sides. So guys, are you enjoying this video and you have not liked it, please go ahead and hit the like button and give us a nice comment, and then subscribe to our channel if you have not subscribed, because if you don't subscribe, you're the one that is missing. You are welcome back home. So remember that our online classes is still ongoing. If you have anything like you want to learn, just follow our description box for the WhatsApp link, or just go to this YouTube homepage and then you will see our direct link to my DM, and then you just get there and I will show you all the online class. We have so many classes, even on embellishment. You can see that I beaded this clothes, even though I didn't bead it fully, but you can learn all these things. Hip padding, bust caging, everything is impacted in that class, and it is very, very affordable. So guys, you can see the final result of what I did. You can see how fine it is looking. You can see how beautiful it is. I hope you try this out, and if you try it, please tell us in the comments. Will you be trying out this cup? Because I know it's nice. So anything you do, just tell us. Thank you guys for watching. I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye.